Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Grace is just as shady as her defrocked croaker ex-husband, Reese. That's why she's played around with Liam excrescence situation, all for a plutocrat snare. Will she get what's coming to her? We prognosticate that all along she made up the story about Liam's deadly brain excrescence. What was the motive? If she had won originally, now her motive is rapacity. She induced Bill to pony up millions to save his son, and he reluctantly said, "How important?" What other parent with the means wouldn't do so? How did mild-mannered Grace pull off the con of the century? She's a croaker. So showing off another case's reviews, one with an inoperable brain mass, would be easy peasy. What about Liam's worsening condition? For that we'd point to the bad medicine she was feeding him. Good croakers go bad occasionally. But do you suppose that Grace was always Nurse Nightingale, or was she more like Reese than anyone ever knew? We may be wondering about the scalpel that was taken to Liam's shaved head. Well, we didn't see anything beyond that point, so we assumed that she nicked him enough to give him aches, and now she's dealing a phenomenon cure. One intriguing question at this point is whether or not Grace is in cahoots with Reese. We see that Grace is feeling pressured and perhaps shamefaced about what she's doing, but she may have no choice. What if her daughters Zoe or Paris are in peril if she doesn't come through with this sick plan to blow up a healthy case? In the end, the list of Grace's victims keeps growing. Hope and Steffi are sick to death over Liam's fate and thank virtuousness they haven't told the kiddies yet. Bill makes sure of it that Grace pays for her crimes. But is that saying much when he interposed to get Luna pardoned for her crimes? Also again, perhaps he takes pity on poor Grace and gives her a bed next to Luna's? Liam is in recovery for the junking of a fake brain excrescence, and after being shot in the casket. He's recovering at Bill home, and none of this makes sense. So, why not make this story indeed more adulatory and crazy by giving Liam a new personality to charge? Grace may or may not have done real or experimental brain surgery, but either way, Liam was put under after a veritably recent surgery. He's in no shape to be at home, no matter who he wakes up as. Did Grace actually perform cutting-edge surgery, or did she pretend to? Either way, she's shady as an old oak tree, and we prognosticate that her treatment of Liam could effect insignificant changes to his internal outfit. Bill believes that his plutocrat will cure Liam, not knowing that there was nothing wrong with him to begin with. Grace said Liam could be unconscious for a bit, but she made sure to say that she probably saved Liam's life. How accessible. Steffi and Hope went ballistic when they set out about Liam. Will he be the same man they flash back as the father to their daughters? Or will Grace's fork surgery have a bad effect on sweet Liam? Did you ever consider how strange it's that ruthless Bill has 3 sweet-as-pie sons? How did that be? One or further of them has Bill's DNA ready to unleash. Perhaps it's Liam's turn of fortune that the crosses he's been through make him a chip off the old stallion. Would that be more in line with being Bill's son? This is just enterprise at this point, but if Liam went shady, we can see him pursuing what he wants in a Bill such-like fashion, not taking no for an answer. We could see him decide to get Hope back and sabotage Carter if he wants Steffi. He could break up her beautiful family with Finn. Liam wakes up to a big reunion. Katie opens up to will Taylor and Brooke make a pact. At Bill Place, the nanny is tending to Liam. After getting off the phone, Bill says they're about to anticipate company. Hope, Steffi, and Finn arrive, all wanting to see Liam. Bill explains that there was no time to bandy it with them. Grace said they demanded to act incontinently, so he did. Bill explains that it had to be done intimately because of all the red tape recording in the US. They suppose they got all of the excrescence, but they're still staying on one final MRI. Finn wants literature on the procedure and the figures. Bill doesn't have any of that. There's a textbook from Grace. The rearmost MRI results show that the entire excrescence is gone. Finn calls it a phenomenon and Liam is overwhelmed with emotion. Taylor and Ridge talk. Brooke enters and asks how they're doing. The Golden asks about Steffi. Ridge declares Luna won't be a problem ever again. They're all thankful to Liam, but they still believe he's dying. Taylor asks about canceling the trip to Italy. Brooke fears they will be out of the country when Liam passes down. Ridge advises against delaying the trip, but promises to do what's right for the family. Taylor says it's important that they unite to help Steffi and Hope be there for Kelly and Beth. Brooke completely agrees. Elektra harangues about Looney Luna to Will. Katie arrives and says Liam survived the projectile, but he'll still die. Will gets emotional thinking about his family dying. Will insists they will try every option. Will starts to cry in front of his mama as Elektra tries to comfort him. Back over with Liam, everyone is rejoicing over this medical phenomenon. Still, could there be lateral goods or other enterprises after the fact? Hope, Steffi, and Finn still look thwarted, but everyone is thrilled that Liam is going to live after all. Liam suffered from a mass in his brain that nearly cut his life short. Also, he was hit with a pellet that could have killed him. He's escaped death formerly. This gave him a new parcel of life. Liam realized he wants to be alive for as long as possible. He agreed to an experimental procedure that's in the early stages. But what if this mysterious procedure is further trouble than it's worth? Liam passed this secret treatment to save his life. He just woke up from surgery, and yet he was ready to go back under. Grace first approached Bill with this experimental treatment that's still in the early stages. But Bill doesn't watch to know the details. He just wants to do whatever it takes to save his son's life. He'll throw plutocrat at anyone, no matter the cost. But this surgery could bring him further than it's worth. The surgery itself sounded sketchy. Grace was the bone. Who operated on Liam, not another croaker. As preliminarily assumed. Just seconds after he went beneath, Grace took a scalpel to his head. He was indeed given a breathing tube. The surgery went well, although it was quick. A little too fast. Is there commodity that Grace is keeping from Liam? Liam snappily inked the papers before the procedure, which took place at a private installation. He didn't watch if he was subscribing his life down. He wasn't informed about the symptoms and pitfalls of this experimental procedure. Sure, Liam made it through surgery. But what could be after that? Was Grace suitable to remove the mass from his brain? All we know is that the procedure went wonderfully. But did they spark commodity differently in his brain? Liam has yet to wake up. Could he wake up with a new personality rather? We might get a whole new Liam, with a different mind and body. Or commodity worse could be. This procedure could shoot Liam to an early grave. It wouldn't be the cancer that was parlous after all. Bill is staying as Dr. Buckingham examines Liam. He makes a joke about his pater smelling a bit and they all giggle. Bill says he fought the whole family to get in the room and wouldn't be leaving until he's recovered. Dr. Buckingham says Liam is recovering nicely and hopes he realizes how important he has to live for. Bill moves to Liam's side and says how lucky he feels. He knows how close he came to losing his son and blames himself. In typical Liam form, he says all is good now as he survived and Luna is gone. Bill is so proud of his son for putting his life on the line to save the mama of his child. Grace listens nearly as Bill brags on his son for his courage. Bill doesn't understand why Liam didn't tell him about his brain excrescence as he'd do everything in his power to help. Eric, Brooke and Ridge are agitating recent events. Ridge thinks Luna failed as she lived and Liam saved the day. They all note his life still hangs in the balance with both the pellet crack and brain cancer. Eric knows it's not a great time for a transnational excursion but wishes Brooke would join him and Ridge in Naples and Capri. Donna and Taylor enjoy tea and bandy the forthcoming trip to Naples and Capri. Taylor asks Donna if she thinks Brooke will tag on. Donna knows Eric would love her to come and thinks it's a great idea.